Oh, happy Monday to everybody. So excited to be here with you. There's been a lot of changes going on, so I'm kind of trying to catch up with everything while always making sure I'm taking care of myself so I can help lead others by example, of course. I'm often asked, what exactly do you do? And it's funny because a lot of times it's a pause. I kind of look up and I'm like, oh, which one? What do I tell them? How do I tell them? It depends on who's asking me. So here's how it works. I spent a lot of my life understanding or trying to understand what my purpose was. I didn't understand what I was supposed to be doing here on earth. I was supposed to help. I asked so many questions. I had 1,000 jobs. I didn't understand exactly what I was supposed to do with my life. So I started looking into a lot of things. I started looking into health, into development, into everything. So I spent a lot of many years actually in the education field, and I would kind of look at the way things were set up and I'm thinking something's wrong here. There's just too much chaos. Where's the communication? What's happening? No matter what job I had, it always turned into a counseling session. I was actually a contractor for a while, painting houses, putting roofs on houses, and something always ended up in some type of counseling scenario, I can say. So I've done everything under the sun. I can literally say that. What was very confusing for me is when people would always ask, who's your niche? Who do you want to help? You have to pick a certain avatar. And my thing was, I want to help people that are confused, that don't know what they want to do with their lives, that are sick, that want to get better. I want to help them grow stronger mentally, physically, emotionally. So I started reaching out in different things. In different things, I started researching and applying everything I was learning because I always guinea pig myself first. A lot of my stuff on YouTube is doTERRA. doTERRA kind of helped launch the whole get on live and do what you have to do because I was very excited about their products and how I was able to incorporate them into my daily life and just felt super energetic and just so grateful that I had found those products. I didn't understand why they worked. Now I know because they're high frequency. They have high frequency energy. I started off education system. I went to leadership training. I got certified with John Maxwell. I also went to schools and found out there was a miscommunication, as I mentioned earlier. So I got into mental health, and I also became a professional clinical counselor. So coaching, professional clinical counseling, looking into restoring your physical health. I actually did I actually helped a lot of people restore their health naturally, because we start learning that the body has the ability to heal itself if we just give it what it needs. So a lot of the stuff that our body does, it does it naturally. It just needs to be helped and not polluted. So I help people educate their mind as well, because the same way as your physical body, you want to make sure you're putting in good stuff in your body. I do a lot of detoxes. I do emotional, I do physical, and there's a whole lot of inherited stuff that we have carrying with us. So I started looking into energy work. So I also practice energy. I do a lot of restoring health through the practice of energy and also the heart. I like to restore people to their natural state. When we first came to this planet, to Earth, we all kind of had a purpose for our lives. But when we came to this planet, all of a sudden, something happened. We were confused. We lost our direction. We lost our way. And we started really turning into people or someone that others expected of us. So along that way, we really did lose our identity. And what I help people do now through various channels is help people understand who they are. Many of us have had our hearts broken, whether intentional or not. The heart breaks and we build this wall around it. So there is actually something created that's called a heart wall. Many of us don't know what it is, how we got it, and how to get rid of it. So a lot of the work that we do through energy can help you release a lot of the excess baggage that you have, that you're carrying, much of which you're not even aware of. So through various sessions, coaching sessions, we start digging deep and kind of like deep cleaning a house, right? Every time you deep clean something, it seems like it gets worse. It looks worse before it looks better. So that's kind of what happens when you're detoxing the person. You start physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, start getting rid of baggages to identify who you really are, not who everybody else has told you that you are. And a lot of healing comes through that. The heart is able to shine, and it does lead you in the direction that you are supposed to be in. And somehow you're more empowered without the other people's influences telling you how to be and where to go. There's something that we do as a technique that you look into a mirror and you say to yourself, you know, my name, I'll say, Velia, I love you. And I look directly into the mirror and just to my eyes, and I tell people on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you? 10 being you're really in love with yourself, 1 not so much. I've had clients that are at negatives, and it's very painful and it's difficult not to be emotionally attached, but I do with every one of my clients. but we get you to a 10. And that's the goal. You have to fall in love with yourself. And we don't hear that enough. We talk about love others, be respectful, or everybody for themselves. But falling in love with yourself, we don't really hear it very much. What we don't understand is that once we fall in love with ourselves, we're very easily able to demonstrate that love to other people. So you pour into yourself, you get to know, you get rid of all the junk, heal your memories, heal your trauma, heal anything that has happened in your life. All of a sudden, things just don't bother you anymore. And some people say, how is that possible? I'm thinking there's so many things the heart does. We're just not aware of its power. So once we get everything, all the gunk off of the heart, start clearing everything that does not belong, all of a sudden you're able to flourish and your heart's forever grateful, and you will see the changes in your life. You'll feel lighter. You don't feel like you have to people please anymore. There's something about hanging around with other people. You start looking for more positive influences, and then you just have this need to grow. So you're constantly looking. Being a Maxwell leadership coach has also helped me to lead myself, because a lot of times when someone thinks you're a leader and you're walking by yourself, nobody's really following you. So it's very important that you're implementing what you're using through leadership, first leading yourself before you can lead anybody else. Whether that be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, it doesn't matter. We all need to be led till we can figure out how to get there. So a coach is basically somebody who's gone out and kind of experienced life, fallen a few times, and can see a little further past what one can see as a client. I myself have coaches as well, because I need somebody to guide me to where I need to go, because they've already been there. So those are the services I offer them. But I know that it's not just a mental thing. People say, oh yeah, you have to just think it, believe it, be motivated. And how do you get there with so much baggage? So we start deep cleaning the whole person, and that's kind of why it's different. This is why I do doTERRA. This is why I do Zytoscan. This is why I do energy healing. This is why I do so many different things. We do Soul Link. Soul Link is a revolutionary technique, way beyond its time. And it's just amazing, because within seconds, without you giving me any content of your negative memory, all I use is your energy field, your heart, and you do actually heal from any negative memories or any trauma. 2 requirements: no unforgiveness in your heart, and you have to be ready to let it go. So if you're ready to do that, we can always do that. I also teach people how to forgive. And they say, how do you teach people how to forgive? Sometimes we think that unforgiveness or us not being able to forgive somebody, like they don't deserve it. And you see quotes all the time, oh, well, it's for you, it's not for them. There's this pollution that sets up in your heart when you have not forgiven somebody. It doesn't mean you don't have the right to be hurt. It doesn't mean you don't have the right to feel the way you are or what you're feeling, but what is it doing to you internally? Where is it taking you in life, or where has it prevented you from going in life? So a lot of the sessions we talk about forgiveness. It's very difficult to let go of things. Some can forgive easy, some not so much. It doesn't matter. It's something that we can teach you, and you can actually learn how to do that, and your heart will be forever grateful to you. Now, a bunch of other stuff that we're getting ready to do. I also do organization. So a lot of people live very chaotic life, disorganization. They're kind of all over the place. I don't know what to do. I know where to go. I work with kids and families for a long time for CPS cases. So I got the worst of the worst. I had a lot of kids that were pulled away from their parents for many reasons. Working with the kids, and I also work in parenting classes. So I got a feel for what the home is like. And working in education, it was kind of very chaotic, and people just need to be a little more organized. They need to be listened to. They need to understand what the expectations are of everybody. So there's better communication. I have a lot of parents that they say they would always fight with their kids. That the last thing they would always say to the kids is, hurry up, get your bag, and we're running late, and they're just running out the door. They come home from school, and all they're doing is, hurry up and do your homework. So there's just yelling, yelling, yelling. And there's so much remorse on the parents' end. There's so much the kids share too, like, I wish my parents gave me more time, and I'm always in sports, and I'm always doing homework, and there's just, again, this miscommunication, this lack of. So learning to understand the family unit is very important. But the family is made up of very many individuals. All have their own dreams, expectations, personalities, learning styles. So I also come and do a lot of assessments for the family. We do spiritual assessments, we do learning styles, we do love languages. I mean, there's a variety of assessments that we take for each individual to help your family flow better. I've asked parents, like, if that was the last thing you said to your kid, hurry up, and you're yelling and on the way to the bus stop or to school, and if something were to happen, of course we don't want that, but would you be okay with the last thing you said to your kids? And that's kind of the questions we start asking. We get to the heart and to the core of the things that really matter, because everything here is not really important. It's the people that are here with you, what you're doing in life, and how it is that you want to be remembered. What legacy are you leaving behind? Really learning to empower. No mom that is running around like a chicken with her head cut off is happy about the lifestyle. She thinks she's supposed to do that's her role. So we learn to identify our roles. We learn to understand what it is we're supposed to be doing and how to get there. Does it happen overnight? No. But through sessions, we start working plans to get you better organized. A lot of people are going towards minimalism. That's what I did. I found out that there was so much in my life that did not really serve a purpose, that was really dragging me. And a lot of people do that with material things as well as physical, emotional and spiritual things. So decluttering the process as well. Homes, helping you guys get organized at home with your families, with your goals in life. What careers, what jobs? Are you happy? Does you going to work help you get, jump out of bed every morning? Are you doing it with a positive attitude? Are you being a light at your workplace? Is there something that needs to happen in your attitude? I had the opportunity to go to Paraguay a few years ago to help with a leadership conference, to help develop people to have better communication, to just be overall good citizens. And it was all about attitude. So everything in life has to start with our attitude. How do I have a good attitude if things are happening? You can change the frequency that you're at. So I want to give you an example. If you're listening to a radio station and all they play is a certain amount of music, that's all you're going to hear is that particular music, because that's the station you're on. If you switch the station, you can always hear what you want to hear when you want to hear it. And people they don't know that we are definitely the creators of our own life. And then we could take a handle on things and actually change things for the better. So being on one frequency, say you're listening to a rock station, but you want more classical, you can actually switch frequencies. When we're at a lower vibration, a lower station per se, a lot of negative emotions come, and you get depressed, you have anxiety, you have all these emotions, you just thinking, and overthinking really is the number one cause to unhappiness. So let's just think about what you're thinking about. Write it all down. Let's all figure it out, and then you have a plan, you have goals, you have structure, and you can actually categorize your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, just like you can categorize your things at home, your socks, your shoes, and everything else. Thoughts can totally help you get to where you need to be. Thoughts lead to emotions, which lead to behaviors. And we get caught up in this vicious cycle that we're just not really aware of. And before we know it, 10, 15, 20 years go by, and where did my life go? What am I supposed to do? A question I ask parents all the time, individuals. I have wives, I have husbands, and I say, if you're not a husband, if you're not a dad, if you're not an uncle, if you're not a dad, who are you as an individual? Who are you as a wife? If you're a wife, you're a sister, you're a mom, you're an aunt, but who are you as an individual? And people don't know. They start crying. And I cry with them, of course, but we've lost who we are. We've lost our identity. We lost our purpose. And it's never too late to find out what it is. Many times we're just not giving ourselves the time, the attention that we need, that we deserve. Because all of us have this dream. We have this vision in our mind. We dream about it. We feel it in our heart. And I tell people all the time, if you can see that dream and you can feel it, that means it's yours to attain. We just don't know the steps sometimes because life is happening. And it's very important for you to understand that there is a way to get you out there, to understand your purpose, to heal everything that needs to be healed, and to help you envision yourself in the future, but more important, the present that you want to be living. So a lot of what we do has a lot to do with you. It's everything to do with you. I just come alongside of you and meet you where you are. We get the steps together, get this goal, and we help you walk there. Walking, crawling, crying, sometimes it gets tough, but hey, you know what? Ultimately, it's your dream, it's your goal, and we're gonna make it happen together. A lot of people, again, are twisting to minimalism. About a year ago, I started just decluttering my house. I got rid of it. I was going to move. I moved into a fifth wheel trailer. I'm thinking, I don't care. I'm going to start new. This life is crazy. I'm tired of working so hard or whatever. So I was packed up ready to go to another state. And I went through this training or spiritual, and you're this, and you're learning about you and your heart's desire. And it was like, no, you're not going anywhere. You have to stay here in the high desert. You have to stay here and help your community. And I'm like, oh, okay. So little by little, I just trusted. I had faith, and now my business is growing, and I'm so excited because I get to share that with other people. I talk a lot about anxiety and depression. I also come from a long line of anxiety and depression, and my story is just so ugh. And I'm going to share with you guys as this time goes by. And a lot of things that you're feeling right now are very familiar to very many people, and sometimes we feel so alone and we don't share with other people because we think it doesn't matter, we're crazy, they're going to think we're weird. There's such a huge stigma around mental health, and that's kind of why I wanted to go understand what mental health is. But I didn't want to go the route of medication and psychotherapy and psychiatry. They all have its place, I get it, but I went to the more holistic realm because I really wanted to help people heal, not give them a Tylenol, not make them feel like they have to depend on the other life. And what's interesting is people will call and they'll try to make appointments and they're saying, what do you mean that, the max time I have to be with you is 8 to 12 weeks? You're a therapist, I should be with you for longer and whatever. I said, you know what, healing goes by so quickly. We help restore so quickly because we're using the power of energy in your heart. So you don't have to be with me for the rest of your life. And the goal is to do just that. I want to show you, I want to train you, I want to help heal you. So you restore your own health, you take care of yourself, you lead yourself through guidance, and then you just go. You go and you help other people also develop, grow. It's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be nice. It's okay to smile. It's okay to share. It's okay to be in a good mood. If more of us did that, then the world would be a different place. But I get that it's hard because we're afraid of being judged, people looking at us, they're going to think I'm weird. And all those thoughts are really not leading us to where we need to go. So that's why it's so important to start leading people to become their own leaders so they can in turn help lead others. And there's so much goodness happening in the world. I know it's hard to believe because we see all this ugly stuff on the news, but they're not telling you exactly what is happening in the world. There's a lot of good stuff happening too. So I want you to focus on your goals, your dreams. What did you say you wanted to be when you were 5, 6, 7 years old? And are you that? Or has life kind of come and kind of knocked you down and now you're kind of lost and just going through the motions? There's a lot of people on autopilot today. We talk a lot about the conscious and subconscious mind. We operate 99% of our subconscious every single day. You've ever been driving somewhere and you're doing 10,000 things and you don't even know how you got there to your destination? That's your subconscious mind on autopilot. Many of us are doing just that. If you look around, people are on their cell phone. They're kind of just going through the motions, going to work, paycheck to paycheck. Oh, get a new business, get this. People just keep jumping around thinking that we're going to find the next best thing. And we're not going to find it out there. It's in here. And what we like to show people is how to find it in here. Trust you for you and who you are. They say the heart is deceiving. It is not. Somebody who did not know how to love or a mistake in something is what hurts us and what deceives us. But our heart will always lead us to where we need to go. So the best thing to do is to heal that and to empower you to believe that you can accomplish your goals. And always know that no matter what happens in life, we can always get back up. There's trains coming all the time. We fall off the train, fall off the wagon, whatever. It's about how long you stay off that wagon or that train that matters, because these trains are coming and they're going to beautiful destinations and we're missing out on things because of fear, because of anxiety, because of judgment, because of our past, because of things that have happened that don't exist anymore. 60,000 to 90,000 thoughts per day. That's how many come into our mind. And all of them are yesterdays. Most all of them are yesterdays. We're not living in yesterday anymore. A lot of us still do on a daily basis because we don't know that we can break free from that bondage. And I want to encourage you and I want you to know that you can always break free from whatever. And your thoughts are what's going to lead you to your success or your ultimate failure. And it does not depend on anybody else. It doesn't depend on who's president. It doesn't depend on, where you came from, where genetics are. It doesn't depend on any of that. It depends on you, your thoughts, and really, really where you want to go and what you're willing to do to get there. It's not about money. It's not about success and, material possessions. It's about you really learning to look at yourself in that mirror, say, I love you. Ask yourself, what's the best or what can you do for yourself today to love you more, and really to start manifesting the things that you want to be a part of your life. Because who doesn't want to be a better mom, a better sister, a better uncle, a better everything? We all want to, but there's no time. There's no time. And we all have 24 hours in a day. What we do with that time is so important. And sometimes there's just so much that we feel like we can't do everything. So it turns into a beat up session. And that's what happens a lot. You're beating yourself up. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. I work with moms all the time and dads and crazy. They're like, oh my God, I didn't get this done. You had 20,000 things to do. You did 19,000. You did, whatever. And you're beating yourself about the ones that you did not get done. So where's the gratitude in life? How are you taking care of yourself? How are you being nice to yourself? Most of the time we're really mean to ourselves. And a lot of that has to do with what we're seeing in life, the expectations. So I want to encourage you to love yourself a little more, to give yourself a little more patience, to give yourself a pat in the back. And more than anything, I want you to rise up in the morning and really be grateful for what you already have, because the things that you already have, somebody would trade their lives for. And I really want you to look around and really focus on the things that have already been given to you, the things that you have already received, willingly or not, right? Because sometimes we just receive things out of nowhere. I was in Mexico a few weeks ago, and I was in a very impoverished neighborhood, and it brought tears to my heart because they were playing with rocks and they didn't have shoes, and it was 122-degree weather, and I'm thinking, wow, how do they live this way? Granted, they've probably been accustomed to that weather. Their supermarkets were horrible, and people just are happy. They're smiling, they're going to work. I mean, of course they want more, they want better, but they're happy with what they have. They're content with what they have. And they're not bickering, whining, complaining. They're actually doing something to empower themselves, but they're being grateful the whole way through. So I spent about a week there, went back a second time, and I'm just in awe of what they're doing with the little resources that they have. And it's always a learning experience. I remember being young, we used to always go out and take a look at, we'd go to Mexico on a vacation in cardboard boxes and sheep. It was just amazing. And I thank my parents for exposing us to that, because they helped me learn the value of the things that, we take for granted. And I think a lot of us right now are doing just that. We're taking for granted the things that we already have. We're working so hard for a house. We're working so hard for this car, for this clothes. And where's the family? There's a big fuzz about what's happening at the borders, and people are upset about these kids and they're in cages and how can they be separated. And I ask a lot of people on my radio show, I said, you're so focused on what's happening with these kids in cages, but we have children in our homes living in invisible cages. Parents and their kids are not connecting. Mom and dads aren't connecting. They're just not connecting. So we're literally living in invisible cages, but we choose to not see that. We know there's a problem, but we don't know what to do, or we don't know where to invest. And I've tried therapy and I've tried this. Keep trying something else. Don't just give up. There's so much help out there. Things that happen quickly. But invest in your time, invest in your family, invest in communication, and you'll see that there is help out there that'll help you reunite. It's never too late. But think about your family, what you're doing in your life. Think about the person in the mirror. That's always a hard one to think about, right? About what's in here, not what makeup we're wearing, not what our hair looks like, not what clothes we're wearing, but what our heart looks like, what our mental state is, and why are we living, and who are we living for? So I want to leave you guys with that. I know this was kind of a lengthy video. I was going to make a short video, but I really wanted to jump on here and say this is kind of who I am and what I do. I get a little emotional talking about what I do for a living, because it's my passion, and I've been doing it for a long time, but now I understand, and it's more structured, and I can coach people and I can teach them, and people are with me for a very short period of time. Some of them want to come hang out once a month or whatever, but healing is very rapid, and this system is geared towards you, for you to empower you again, to grow you, to love you, to accept you, and to ultimately reward yourself instead of beating yourself up all the time. So among other things that we do at Person to Person, again, organizations, get your house together, get your lives together, careers, we get your thought process organized. There's just so much to do. And leadership, teenagers, I love kids, worked in the school systems forever, try running away from them, but they keep coming back. So kids are a huge part of my life. And right now, with the things that are happening in schools and the school shootings, everybody wants to point fingers and blame, but nobody's really taking a look at what we can do to help the situation. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys will like this video and get some people to subscribe, because we're going to be talking about very intimate subjects here, and I would love for people to know that there is help, And I want to give you guys some tips and tricks, some things that I've picked up along the way for you to start implementing in your home to give your family a fighting chance. I know that it seems like everything's against us, but you are in complete control of what happens to your life. We literally have pencils. Here's my pen. So we are creators of our lives. You literally have a pen, pencil every day in your life, and you get to create what you want. And I don't think any of us knew that. A lot of us did not know that, and a lot of us still don't know that, but I want to teach you how to create the life that you were designed to live. So I will say goodbye. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be on here every day. I think I'm going to be on here in the evenings, going live on YouTube. So if you guys can share this and talk to people and kind of get them in the loop, would love for you guys to comment, give me any themes you'd like me to talk about, and I will be more than happy to hang out with you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I got to see how I'm going to turn this video off because it's my first time doing a YouTube live, and it was a whole bunch of fun. Have an amazing day, guys, and we will talk to you soon. Coach Velia signing off. And I think I did this right, or maybe I didn't do this right, but I think I'm done. Bye, guys.